Jinko, Jekko, Hextrap. I really haven't given any thought to their ship name yet, but nonetheless, I wanted to make a dedicated video to my two favorite characters in Arcane. I want to talk about the nuances of Jinx x Ekko, and what made the fandom fall in love with their relationship. Also, I'll tackle on a few fun facts along the way. Actually, there's not a lot of scenes with young Ekko and Powder together in this series. Majority of them come from a video that Fortiche animated. It's a music video for the song Enemy by Imagine Dragons and JID. Yes, that Enemy. This music video was released on October 28th, 2021. So seeing how Arcane's first act was released on November 6th, 2021, a lot of people watched the music video in anticipation for Arcane's release. The video was showing us the world through Powder's eyes, and this is where I believe the seed of Jinx x Ekko was planted. We get a ton of cute scenes between Ekko and Powder. Here's one of them just being kids jumping on the bed together. There's a scene of them admiring Vi practicing, and then it cuts to just Powder trying to copy Vi and Ekko admiring her.
I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help.
There's also a scene of Ekko and Jinx listening to Straight Outta Compton while flipping off the police. Okay, well, that one actually didn't happen, but here's Powder and Ekko being very adorable and dancing together.
Come back, please, come back, please. I need you, please. Why did you leave me? Because you're a...
After the events of Ekko watching Silco kill his dad Benzo, and Powder blowing up her entire family, Silco takes Powder in, and she becomes Jinx. In a deleted scene during the time skip, Ekko tries really hard to save Powder, but things didn't really go according to plan. I'll let Amanda Overton, another writer of Arcane, explain exactly what went down.
He finally, after all this work, finds Powder in Silco's lair, and he says, "I'm here to rescue you." And she says, "I don't want to be rescued. I'm Jinx now." And then when he tries to pull her out of there physically, she slapped him the same way that Vi slapped her in episode 3.
After the altercation in the deleted scene, Ekko decided that Powder was really gone and put her on the mural, which explains why when Ekko was trying to destroy the shimmer on the airship, he snapped after Jinx killed his friend. He was so full of rage that he stopped thinking clearly and needed to be stopped by one of his own men. The deleted scene also explains why Jinx calls him the boy's savior during their fight as a way to mock him for his failure, which leads us into one of the best scenes in Arcane. Ekko beat woman. This is where Arcane successfully waters the plant. It's also the last Jinx and Ekko interaction we get for 3 whole years. When the fight starts, Jinx switches her stance, which during my first watch, I thought nothing of it. But being the mentally insane Arcane addict I am, I noticed something very interesting. Let's go back to the scene where Vi, Powder, Milo, and Clagger are laying low from the enforcers. They seem to be in some type of arcade. There's a shooting range and a punching machine. Let's focus in on the shooting range. Milo and Powder are about to see who can hit more targets. Milo misses every shot, but look at his stance. It's the same stance that Jinx is using in her fight against Ekko. I went through every scene in the series where Jinx is using this pistol, and she never assumes this stance when shooting. Milo misses every shot in this stance, and what does Jinx do? Miss every shot, signifying that she never really wanted to hit Ekko, which means Powder is still in there, and Ekko could see that, and at the end, he saved her from the explosion. Also, Arcane did something really cool with Ekko in this fight. Ekko clicks his stopwatch and closes the distance between himself and Jinx in 4.44 seconds, which is obviously foreshadowing.
Go, go, go. Forbidden from the beginning, I saw her there, up there. Feeling like since I met her, they said I couldn't have her. Way out of my league, I never believed it. Gotta get her hard, I gotta make her mine.
Reversing polarity!
Which is obviously foreshadowing. Season 2 episode 7 is every Arcane fan's wet dream. Compared to the rest of the season, you can tell Arcane made sure they put a lot of love, Easter eggs, and hidden meanings in this episode. The seed that they planted and watered is now a plant bearing delicious fruit. With that being said, I'm gonna go over a few things that make this episode so special, and how it builds up Ekko and Jinx's relationship for the finale. We start off with Ekko and Powder in Benzo's shop, and they seem to be working on a project. Then when the main universe Ekko takes control of this universe Ekko's mind, he goes to the grandfather clock to get a look at his appearance. The same grandfather clock that Ekko was fixing in the first scene we see him in. Also, when Powder comes in frame, her reflection is Jinx, which I thought was a really nice touch. Let's move on to the dance. We all know the dance between Ekko and Powder is in 4 frames per second, which represents Ekko's connection with 4. But a deeper meaning I found is that the dance is in 4 frames per second because Ekko keeps rewinding the moment in his head so it doesn't end. Man, it feels so good to see Ekko happy.
And I betrayed her.
Ekko also gave Powder a necklace to remember him by. If you take a closer look, it has both of their faces on it in a shape of a blue rose. Blue roses have many meanings, but the one that makes the most sense in this case is that the blue rose symbolizes unattainable love. Damn, Ekko is so thoughtful for getting a gift like that.
Consumes.
All jokes aside, I believe that even though Jace was stranded, starving, and might have been going a tad bit insane, it's still a lot easier to go from a bad situation to a good one than to be in Ekko's shoes to go from bagging the baddest girl in the show to battling a literal god. When Ekko gets back from the alternate timeline, he immediately goes and tries to recruit Jinx for the final battle. And well, what Ekko says next makes Jinx stop trying to commit die.
You know, I learned from someone very special that no matter what happened in the past, it's never too late to build something new. Someone worth building it for.
And before Jinx and Ekko join the fight, there's a deleted scene that gives a little more insight on what they were doing before they got there. I will let the co-creator of Arcane, Christian Link, explain the deleted scene.
I think what's so cool about Ekko and Jinx is that when he tries to convince Jinx that there is a version of power of her that is so different. And he's seen it. It's not like some theory or him trying to convince her. I think she can feel that when he's like, that version of Powder exists.
So during the deleted scene, Ekko and Jinx grew even closer, which is represented by them wearing each other's clothes and putting their own signature designs on one another. This is the last scene we get of Ekko. He's sitting in the same exact place that Powder and him were sitting after the dance. Him being alone in the end was foreshadowed all the way back in season 1. Ekko's mask is an owl mask, and Jinx is always connected to crows in some way. See, an owl can only see one color, blue. But owls and crows are mortal enemies, signifying they could never be together. So what's next for them? Honestly, I think they said it best.
Sometimes taking a leap forward means leaving a few things behind.